Welcome mates, I'm BloodThirstyLord, but you can call me Lordy, and today we're back on Warhammer 40K Darktide, with a new update on launch day bringing big changes to the gameplay balancing and fixes overall to Darktide, alongside 3 new maps and also new cosmetic store as an additional form of cosmetics through microtransactions to support the game's longevity. This is a huge update and we'll go through all the big changes within this video, so you mates do not want to miss out. Make sure to click the subscribe button and also the bell notification button with all notifications on to keep up to date, and also press that join button to become a member on the channel. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So happy launch day for all the mates out there that are enjoying Darktide right now in this current time, because it is stellar. The experience that you can have in Darktide is like no other, and it's one of the best multiplayer games of 2022 and one of the best Warhammer games in my opinion, due to the fact of its core gameplay, the gore mechanics, the action, the 4-player co-op, and the PvE experience. It's just so much fun. And if you did pre-order the game, you'll be getting exclusive cosmetics as well, so make sure to highlight that right now. I got my new gear on my Zealot class, and that was amazing to see. It looks boss-like. It feels like the Predator from Predator Hunting Grounds, with all the skulls on the actual side being its waist. You can just see all the skulls being collected, and it just looks amazing on this whole character. It's a perfect customization. I'm glad I pre-ordered it. Alongside that, we have the beta rewards, being the helmet. So you'll be able to see one of the helmets on screen right now for my class, pretty much highlighting what it looks like. They seem decent, nothing crazy. They just seem to be additional cosmetics to pretty much highlight, look, you've actually got a new cosmetic due to the fact that you played in the beta, and that's the cosmetics right there. But also mates, in our previous video we did mention that Xbox Game Pass has Darktide for free. So if you have Xbox Game Pass subscription, you'll be able to download the game Darktide on PC, not on Xbox. It's only on PC through Xbox Game Pass. In a future date there will be a console release for Xbox as well, but that is not disclosed yet. I just wanted to clear that up from last video, since there was a bit of confusion there about the Xbox game release. But now the new features in this update, we have 3. And that is highlighting 3 new maps. The first part being a new zone, being Hab Zone HL 1924, the Throne Side. The enemy has entered the Throne Side. This is unexpected. The Warband didn't know they got that far. They must be driven out before they can gain a proper foothold. And towards the end of the mission, it gets like a whole mission status being Purge the Heretics. It just feels great. You feel like you're in the moment and enjoying it. It does go through a breakdown of what that mission is, so we'll go through that as well. Enemy forces have suddenly and unexpectedly advanced into the Throne Side. They must be driven out of the zone. However, it seems they have overextended their assaults and have not yet had time to properly consolidate the position. It is a priority to cut off their supply lines and access routes before they are fully established. Any enemy forces remaining in Throne Side can be isolated and eliminated without the risk that they will be reinforced and supported. That is the mission statement for that mission, and it's really fun and enjoyable overall. The aesthetic of the environment, the map, the new zone, I do enjoy this quite a lot. It's a large map. Compared to all other maps, I think this is the largest map in the game, or the largest zone, and it's hard to find scripts or grimoires, so make sure to keep that in mind. You'll be checking everywhere, every corner, every bench, everything. There's so much to do here. Unbelievable. And then we have 2 new missions, being Refinery Delta 17. Turns out one of the Hourglass fuel refineries is being used to culture a pathogen. Get access to said refinery via fully control, then build overpressure in the gas station chambers to destroy it. The bad news is that it's all enemy territory, so it might get sticky. So we got on one of the missions added to the game, pretty much a variation of one of the zones prior, so it's kind of hard to classify these as maps, but 3 new maps / 3 new variations, and 1 being a new zone, and other 2 being new missions of a particular zone, opening new areas. So pretty much feel like 3 new maps. So that's great to see. Then we have the next mission being Exercise Vault Spire 13. The heretics are using one of the old exercise vaults to store samples of the latest contagion, and interrogate Rannick wants one for study. To get into the vault, you need a cipher ident, and for that you need to brute force access into the colony, use the old conveyor to get to the samples out, then you find your own exit. And that seems pretty cool. Some interesting missions to say the least, and the aesthetics of these missions will be great, and the areas that you'll be fighting in will be quite fun, as we already expected. But I'm glad to see there's content added at launch day. Just means it feels like a juicy update as everyone gets back into it after 1 day of maintenance and enjoys the game. Also mates, in these missions we'll be playing them at the harder difficulties in our Discord, so make sure to join our Discord, be a part of the community, have some fun times, be able to work together, complete challenges, and complete the hardest missions with our mates in our Discord. So many amazing mates there. Make sure to join our Discord, linked in the description below. And then we have a new area in the hub, and this new area in the hub is a cosmetic store, so you'll be able to go there, purchase items with premium currency. It seems like the currency is only made by actually using a converter from your actual real life money and be able to purchase currency, and then using that currency to purchase bundles or skins for your characters. Some of these skins are crazy, like my Zealot skin that I saw on store, amazing. It reminds me of Army 2 with a skull gold figure of the character. It looks crazy, and I want it, but then I'll use my premium currency or put more additional currency into the game. So this is a form of microtransactions in this game, which I don't think many people are going to hate due to the fact that it's a way better game than like a game like Halo Infinite, but that was also free to play, while Darktide isn't. But then that game had a lot of customization they had to purchase, and that cost a lot. In this case, people will support the aspect of this game because they love it or fall in love with the aspect of this niche community of Warhammer. And I feel like they won't be too picky about this aspect, about purchasing items from the store, especially when the customization is actually pretty good. And since this game does have a constant entry, maybe it's not that high as a full price game, but I feel like the customization prices are a bit too high. And the cost of customization, I do feel like that should be kind of less, maybe even $5 to $7 off what it's currently at, because I feel like 2,000 currency is around $15 Australian, which seems a lot because you can't even purchase one bundle yet. And if you want to buy the bundle, you have to pay the next aspect, which is $40, or buy that package and then buy a small package of currency in order to buy that, which gets a bit annoying to say the least, but I'm guessing many people won't be annoyed by this. But tell me pins of thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to know about this. Especially if the cost was reduced, I'm guessing a lot of players will buy a lot of customization options, and they'll be able to mix and match those options with the other options they get from your penance, through completion, and other events they may occur that reward players, like the beta event, with new customization. Be able to mix and match in a game like this would be very, very fun. And there's also a series of fixes towards stability, matchmaking, network disconnects, crashes, known issues. There's a lot when it comes to this update. Pretty much high quality of life changes are necessary to keep the game on par as it's seen by the community right now, being a high prestigious game that everybody enjoys. But having all these fixes implemented just makes the experience as smooth as possible, so there's not always a weird situation occurring. And all those patch notes and fixes will be appearing on screen right now, so make sure to pause whenever you feel like it in order to be able to read that aspect there. And there's also weapon balancing that highlights Heavy Sword now has a correct power level, fixed issue when it is possible to dodge, slide, kite for an unintended amount of time with a certain weapon, being the combat blade. So I'm guessing there was like movement guards out there using this aspect. And then we have one of the last gun variants being able to charge shots, should now chain into zoom bayonet attacks appropriately. Other weapon specials should now interrupt sprinting as well, so you couldn't just go activate ability while sprinting and getting that extra movement speed to get close range while using a special attack. That has been fixed. And now they should fixing all stats working correctly for Ogren's cleavers. And then adjustments made to slowdowns and stuns on hit. Adjustments made to toughness bleed through as well. Reduce slowdown on hit duration for light and medium attack stunning hits. Increase stun immunity duration when players suffering stun hits. Added immunity to look overrides, pushes, ADS, interrupts when in stun immunity. Should clean up the interface when players can act and help avoid aiming dashes, etc. while being shot at. Slightly increase stun durations for light attacks. Set all dodge count reset timers to 0.85 seconds for all weapons and classes, down from 1 second on many, but not all weapons. Removed minimum bleed through of 10% damage regardless of toughness on melee hits. 100% toughness now blocks all damage. Damage reduction based on toughness at the same time of strike, so at 75% toughness, the damage is reduced by 75%. Interesting mechanics that affect the game quite drastically through stun hit, and also stun hits towards yourself, and then also being able to dodge a certain time, and a new pattern to learn as well. And some weapon corrections alongside that new toughness change. And some additional changes that are only applicable to the Steam update, because the Steam update is different from the Windows update at this current time. And in the zones and missions, we have increased the number of materials obtained per pickup of a material found in missions. Glad to see that. Means you're able to use the crafting systems in-game much more often in order to get the better variants for your next runs. And other balances of weapons, Chaos Hound should no longer receive running stagger from pushes, so if you push them, it won't affect them anymore. Pox Bursters is no longer stagger immune after being staggered while running. Biggs damage versus Elite Horde special perks to 40, 60, and 80% bonus damage. Fixed the issue with a certain range perk was also activated by melee stab bash special attack, so that's been fixed. Players should no longer be able to consult with the warp and have infinite heat reduction on their plasma gun. That has been fixed as well. That's kind of busted. I didn't even know about that one. That's insane. Then one of the axes now has a castable push attack recovery. Zealous enemies within enemies without talent should now function as expected. Some of the feats for certain classes, like Zealot, weren't accurately being represented in the gameplay, so I'm glad to see that's been fixed. There should be more verticality when aiming with a Surge Force staff. Psyker should no longer forcibly switch to their melee weapon from Brain Burst. Another good change, because I'm guessing that would ruin some people's plans when playing all classes and having that issue occurring on Psyker and not other classes. So that's good to see. Grenade Gauntlet melee attacks should now register to their correct damage profiles. Psyker can now cancel dueling sword attacks into Brain Burst. Oh, that's kind of dirty. Bolt Gun should now stop firing when a player hits reload. Good to see. And I've been using the bolt gun recently. It is a masterpiece. Especially great to kill specials with. Psyker's Force Staff should now stop charging while quelling peril. That's insane. I didn't even know that was even a thing. Tweaked Net Gunner so reload triggers more often. Tweaked special spawning. Duplicate specials should now spawn less frequently. Reduce the number of specials that can spawn in a coordinated strike. coordinate strikes can now use more randomized spawns, added offset timers to help space out special spawning. This is great to see because sometimes situations of multiple hounds appearing once alongside trappers, if someone gets hit, the whole team's just gone. Everybody disappears one by one, and it happens so instantaneously, having a fun time the whole time, having some intense scenarios, and in 10 seconds, the whole team's wiped out, all trapped and dead. So that's unfortunate, but it looks like that has been fixed here. I'm glad to see that. And also one of the Assault Chain Axe variants have been fixed with their push attacks, could be cancelled into rev and special actions as well. And alongside one of the weapons could get a crit perk despite being unable to crit. And the last change is all weapon traits have their own power curves changed from log to either linear or exponential curves instead. So they'll have some power levels or power spikes throughout the gameplay. Glad to see that. This is really awesome. A huge update, to say the least, when it comes down to Darktide, Warhammer 40K Darktide launch day. And it's actually insane that we got this much, and it feels like it's a quality patch that brings quality of life changes, new additions, new interest, and people that have been waiting for that one-day maintenance are coming back right now, playing 24 hours, no doubt whatsoever. And if you are going to be playing the game today, make sure to have the mate support, so join our Discord, play with the mates there, have some fun times. That is all that matters by the end of it. Gaming is supposed to have fun, so make sure to join our Discord, link in the description below. And mates, tell me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about this update, and what do you think about Darktide after launch? Do you like it? Do you hate it? I'd love to know in the comment section down below. And what do you want to see next on Darktide? Tell me in the comment section down below. As always, mates, it is a pleasure to have you guys on the channel as we're through this, and I'll catch you, mates, next time. Bye. Road to 200k subscribers. Let's get it, mates.